The harsh era of normalization meant that tourism returned to the model of the latter half of the 1950s, focusing on the Eastern Bloc countries. Chedok came up with the idea of cheap holidays and camps with tents or wooden huts as part of the company recreation programs, with substantial financial contributions from trade unions and employers. There were many special trains to the Black Sea in Bulgaria and Romania, while coaches and cars traveled to Lake Balaton and the Baltic Sea, and there were flights to the Soviet Union.
A new element was a number of exotic destinations, such as Vietnam, North Korea, and Cuba. Tourism was now much bigger business than before the war, and for most families, a holiday by the sea was no longer an impossible dream. The time was characterized by a marketing slogan that captured the public's imagination.
Get away from it all with Chedok.
In tourism to Czechoslovakia, Chedok focused on arranging stays for tourists from communist bloc countries, especially East Germany and the Soviet Union. Many came mainly for the shopping, going back home in trains crammed with carpets and crystal chandeliers.
Western tourists had other ideas. Hunting tourism flourished, and over the years, Chedok provided its services to as many as 100,000 hunters. Chedok also organized up to 200 conferences and symposiums each year.
Air travel was on the rise. In 1972, Chedok had its first high-capacity charter flight on the largest plane in the world at the time, the Boeing 747 Jumbo Jet. This flight was to Delhi, in India.
By the end of the 1980s, Chedok's monopoly had grown to the point where its market share was over 90%.
It had 166 branches in Czechoslovakia and 20 offices abroad.
Its assets included over 200 hotels with 23,000 beds.
It had more than 21,000 employees.
In addition to tourism, Chedok was now building on an unprecedented scale, working on large modern hotels in Prague such as the Forum and the Atrium, which are now the Corinthia Towers and the Hilton.
1988 saw the company's greatest expansion yet, when it organized package holidays abroad for 710,000 people. Together with tourism to and within Czechoslovakia, it provided services for almost 2 million people.
In November 1989, the totalitarian regime in Czechoslovakia collapsed. One of the freedoms people demanded during the Velvet Revolution was the freedom to travel.
Immediately after the border opened, Chedok was one of the first travel agencies here to organize one-day coach trips to border towns in Austria and Bavaria.
In 1990, Chedok could offer Czech tourists almost the entire world.
After many years, Chedok dispatched the first groups of tourists to Israel and South Africa again.
The first Chedok trip to Tahiti arrives, where it's welcomed as though it were a state visit.
And the first group of Czech tourists to visit the Antarctic with Chedok disembarks. The oldest tourist is 77 years old.
1990 marked the end of Chedok's monopoly. The competition increased from the original figure of 8 to over 1,000 privately owned travel agencies.
The Interhotel chain was no longer owned by Chedok, and the hotels became individual companies. Chedok now had only 4 hotels.
In 1991, the post-totalitarian crisis reached its lowest point, and Chedok had only 21,000 customers for its holidays abroad.
When Czechoslovakia split, Chedok was divided into 2 parts. Chedok remained in the Czech Republic, while its branches in Slovakia became a new travel agency, Sator.
In 1993, Chedok was rated as one of the most valuable companies in the Czech economy, with a famous trademark. A year later, the National Property Fund had completed preparations to privatize Chedok.
In 1995, a tender was announced for the sale of a majority shareholding in Chedok, and the winner was the Czech company Unimex. The new owner dramatically reduced overheads and invested large sums into modernizing the network of branches, the coach fleet, and the information system, and introduced sales over the internet.
In 1997, Chedok launched the company Prague Sightseeing Tours, which specialized in tours of Prague and excursions around Bohemia.
After 2000, Chedok greatly extended its strategic partnership with the Czech air company Travel Service, which specializes in charter flights.
In 2003, Chedok acquired a stake in ESO Travel, which organizes exotic holidays, and it founded a subsidiary company in Bratislava to sell holidays in Slovakia.
In 2007, Chedok came under the ownership of a new majority shareholder, Odeon, a powerful multinational financial investor that had actively invested in the Czech Republic since 2004 when it became Avia's majority shareholder. Avia was founded to produce airplanes and airplane engines, and Chedok's first flights were on board Avia planes.
Under the new owners, revenues reached a record in 2008. 3.8 billion Czech crowns.
Chedok also founded a subsidiary, Ahoy Tourism in Istanbul, with a branch in Bodrum on the Aegean coast. Chedok also has offices in Vienna, Moscow, and Bratislava.
Chedok has the largest branch network on the Czech market and a modern call center, and alongside other travel services, it offers the widest variety of holidays in 50 countries on 5 continents.
That's evident in its 20 catalogs with a total of more than 3,000 pages covering over 50 destinations, and on Chedok's website, which attracts the highest number of visitors of any travel agency in the Czech Republic.
When designing its holidays, Chedok pays close attention to the latest trends in travel and offers quality destinations with top accommodation and a wide range of all-inclusive first-class services, including sports and entertainment.
For children, there are Chedok's children's clubs run by professionals. Golf, diving, windsurfing, spa treatments, and honeymoons. Programs for young people, families, and the elderly. Chedok offers these and other target groups of top quality service guaranteed by a team of experienced Czech-speaking guides and representatives.
Holidays have always started with a journey. Thanks to its fleet of coaches and the large number of planes it hires, Chedok offers comfortable direct connections even to remote and exotic destinations.
Package deals are supplemented by a practically unlimited range of made-to-measure holidays in line with clients' requirements, with a professional consultancy service provided by a team of specialists under the Chedok exclusive travel brand.
However, Chedok does not only provide classic holidays. Its services also include convention, incoming, and incentive tourism. And its business travel services cover all aspects of business trips, including flight ticket sales.
Chedok has also organized a large number of prestigious events. Among the most prominent have been travel services and programs for the NATO summit in Prague and for the meeting of ASTA, the world's largest association of travel professionals.
Chedok is also well known for its sponsorship of football, ice hockey, and other sports, and for arranging travel and other services for major sports events such as the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver, and the Davis Cup final in Barcelona. Chedok also takes care of the transportation needs of the Czech football team and its fans and partners.
Chedok is well aware of its responsibility to society, and it supports the Civil Society Development Foundation's Help the Children project.
Since 2004, Chedok has had ISO quality certification, and each year it has featured in the top 100 poll of the 100 most important companies in the Czech Republic.
Chedok has regularly won awards at international trade fairs. For 7 years in succession, it has won Best Travel Agency in the Czech Republic in the prestigious TTG Travel Awards.
And what about the future?
Let's make some predictions. It's 2020. Chedak is celebrating its centenary as a successful travel agency in Central Europe and has grown thanks to mergers with other companies in the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and other parts of Europe.
In addition to classic holidays all around the world, its portfolio also includes flights aboard suborbital rocket spaceplanes like the Spaceship.
Others come and go.
Chedak, quality guaranteed since 1920.